On number 20, we cannot subtract the two radicals yet because they're not like terms. What's underneath the radicals are totally different. But we want to go ahead and simplify each radical to see if they're like terms that can be combined. So the 27 underneath the radical can be separated into 9 times 3, since 9 is a perfect square. The x to the 7th, since it's an odd exponent, is not a perfect square, but you can break it down into x to the 6th times x to the first power. You still have all 7 x's, but now you have an x with an even exponent, so it's a perfect square. On the other term, we're going to keep the minus x outside, but we're going to break down the 12 inside to 4 times 3, since 4 is a perfect square. X to the 5th, since it has an odd exponent, is not a perfect square, but we can break it down into the even number right below 5, which is 4, x to the 4th times x to the 1st. We still have all 5 x's, but now we have an even exponent, which makes that a perfect square. So remember, when you take the square root of these numbers, they don't come out exactly the same as they're under the radical as. You take the square root of them. So the square root of 9 comes out as a 3. The square root of x to the 6th, you just take half of the exponent and make that x to the 3rd. This is going to multiply by the 2 that's already outside. So the 2 times the 3 gives me 6, and then we have the x to the 3rd. Inside the radical, what's left is a 3x. In the second one, the square root of 4 comes out as a 2. The square root of x to the 4th, when you take half of that exponent, is x to the 2nd. This is going to multiply by the negative x that's already outside. So remember, that's a negative 1x. So when you multiply negative 1 times 2, you get negative 2. When you multiply an x to the first power times an x to the second power, you add those exponents and get x to the third power. What's stuck under the radical is 3x. So now these are like terms. They're both a square root of 3x. So our answer is going to be a square root of 3x. We need to know how many of them we have. So we look at the numbers in front, which are also like terms. They both have an x to the 3rd. So remember, that's still going to be an x to the 3rd. It's just how many of them do you have? And you have 6 minus 2 of them, which is 4. So your answer is 4x to the 3rd square roots of 3x.